Well, hello and greetings. Believe it or not, this is a footpath. Obviously, this isn't very used at all. Partly, let's face you forward. Partly because it doesn't go to oh my god, this is almost impassable. This is impassable. I can't get through there. Oh my god, that's I mean, something scrabbles up there though. Well, this is you can hear the sound of the stream that's coming from the spring, or springs, because up here are a load of springs, but there is absolutely no way I can cross that. So, there we go, this is evidence. Ugh. Yes, well, believe it or not, that was I had a video planned. We were going to go freezing and hanging. Freezing's up that way, almost impossible to get to. There is another option that I'm going to try. Okay, so bear with me. Well, there's where we were walking along. I think we got to about the centre of the shot. You can see it looks lovely all the way through there, and there's the hill behind that we were heading for. But anyway, let's see if we can get over to there. That's the focus of where I wanted to get to. Now, from this angle, you don't get the image that you get from other angles in the landscape around here. Nor do you get to see the earthworks that are here. You see in the centre shot, and then if you look up at the top of the hill, you can probably make some out. That's what I was hoping to get to, and they're very interesting, but they're left to go a bit overgrown, aren't they, and impassable. But I don't know what they are. But I do suspect they've got something to do with the golf club though. But I do know there are earthworks there. As you see, we're close to civilization here, but I've managed to get into the field. You can see at the gate there at the bottom of the field, where is it, about there, I can't actually see it. That's where we would have come out. So I don't know I don't know if this might be one of those failed attempts. Now, the interesting thing that I can see over there, I don't know if you can see it, if you're watching on a big screen, which I hope you are, because that will show these to the best. See all them on there, all those rooks, and I'm pretty sure that is the golf course earthworks behind it. And I'm hoping car noise isn't as loud as I can hear it, but I can't guarantee that. But ooh, little interesting fungus. Yeah, I saw it first, seagulls. Yeah, watch out from above. Dive bombed. And hopefully not, you know, on. Well, straight away, I mean, the first thing I noticed when I got here was the amount of human detritus. Bottles, cans, plastic, fabrics, or what seemed like they were fabrics. But, you know, I can't. Oh, right, so where we would have come out, that's quite, it's quite open there, that gate, so I don't know. There's a rubber ring there for some reason. Is that in case someone drowns? Now there is another spring somewhere here. I'm not sure exactly where it is. Yeah, I'd have to check the map for that. It is lovely and green, isn't it? And this is the gate, so I know I'm going the right way. You can make out the earthworks at the top, can't you? Can you see it? A little encampment, because all around here, because you see it's quite flat, except for the hills. And up on there, well, there's some old, I know certainly round on the site in the middle, past those trees just beyond, there's another part of a settlement and earthworks. There is beyond those trees, you know, this was quite a busy place for the ancient people to be at one time, and because hopefully we'll see it, if we can get up to the top here, we might be able to see just what the vantage is. There you go, now we're much further up, and even just that little bit of elevation changes things. Oh, there's a pond there. All right, just to the right of the tree, down in the bottom there's a pond. That's why there was a ring. Okay, I didn't see that on my map. I can't figure out where we go from here. This looks like a gate here on this side. So let's assume that, seeing as it looks like a proper Rambler's gate. I'm going to have to report that first bit. So, something else to do. Tell you what, it's very cold, quite appropriate. Quite appropriate to be here. Go freezing on freezing hill. And you see I can't even feel my fingers properly. Yeah, that's on the right, the trees on the right at the top, that's a line of trees that is very visible from a long way around, depending on, you know, where you're looking from. Here it's not so visible, but there's a great big marker of those trees, you know, you can't miss them. They're very distinct. Hello. I heard a click of a electric fence. Right, so here we got to go through here. Well, can we? Let's give it a go. Well, that was not easy. That's overgrown, needs sorting. But I'm guessed by this thick path here, we are over. It's unusual seeing it everywhere from this angle. Okay, well let's get freezing. And one of the problems with this route is that at the end of these trees, that apparently there should be some kind of entryway to the road. Well, I haven't noticed it on my journeys past here. But, you know, it's a very busy road. It's narrow, steep sides. You know, there's nowhere to go off the road for it. So hopefully we can get up there. And just to be appropriate, my hands are freezing. They really are. Okay, now we get another view in the distance there. So I'll zoom you in so you can see the hills dip. There you go. I mean, I know it's not the best weather here. And take a look over there on the left. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, I've spoke about this before, but you know, the history of Britain, a lot of it has disappeared and would have disappeared before, because people don't think the old's important. Yeah, the past isn't important, is it? Well, it is, because that's how we got to here now. You can't get there any other way. Now at the top, to the right of the trees in the field, I don't know if you can make it out, the soil creep, as well as in the gate over there, I feel the soil creep in there, which I may go down that way to view, because like I was saying, this road is so busy, and there is another bit of a footpath, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. So it's very confusing. And this is the way the animals make it across here. Don't know where they're going though, because they can't get through. Well, maybe that's where they go when they're getting through. This is got some nice root systems by the looks of it. Well, exposed root systems. Nice in terms of form and beauty, but not nice in terms of what it means. Sadly, this beach are shallow rooted. Oh. Very shallow rooted. Oh, there's a load of deer running off. Can you see them? They're gone round the corner. Damn. They must have heard me. They wouldn't have smelt me because my smell is going another way. Wow. Wow. More interesting than I was suspecting. Sad that they got a fence either side, but that's going to be a cattle prevention. Well, yeah, cattle. Sheep can get through that. So let's see what things are like from the very top of this bit of soil creep. Yeah, the old kind of style. 2 bars, some lovely workmanship. Alright, so there we go, we got a little view over there. There we go, that's the view that way. Bearing in mind we're not on the top, and you might be able to hear the wind. I can feel it, it's going right through everything I'm wearing. It's a freezing wind here on Freezing Hill. Right, and there you go, there's a flat plain. Now, I would suggest that this would be quite a good position for some kind of settlement. Don't you? Without a doubt. We've got this steepness, and then behind, well, over that way, we've got that, lovely and flat. And then here, well, look at all that. Oh dear. Yeah, got my leg over. Here we go, look at this. Yeah, see, I'm not wrong, am I? Probably. I am. I'm now officially trespassing. Yeah, afraid so. Now, any movement is going to be amplified now, but I just wanted to zoom in just to show you the view. And if you look, the hill there, that one, that's the next sort of hill over. You have to go up and down to get to that one, and the one in the further distance to the left of that, that's another valley and another climb to get to that one, and the ones over the other side. But you see how lovely and flat this is. It's sorry. And there you go, there are the trees on Freezing Hill. Shame those ones are missing, because it forms a lovely little caterpillar that can be seen from miles around and visible on some of my other videos. And we can even see right over that way, which is sort of towards Avebury. Yeah, Marlborough Downs, Avebury, that kind of way. But there you go. This is quite a size, isn't it? And certainly, I would suggest big enough for a settlement of a reasonable size. Because on the other side, where the road is, on the other side, that then goes also down, and the area is yeah, it's Cotswolds, so up and down, up and down, up and down, punctuated with combes. Combes are plenty here. And then as we get to the trees, as we get to the trees, what we find, well, that gap in the trees, in the hills, that's the River Avon coming in. We may, no, I can't, can I? No, I was just seeing if I could see the Bristol, the Severn Bridge. So you see, that would have been a very good view. You could see anyone coming in up through the river, up through there, or at least you would, you know, if you saw fires that way, you'd have a warning, wouldn't you? And then, you know, further on there, and right up there, in fact along the escarpment right up to places like Stroud, right the way up. Now one of the interesting things is, I wonder if I can show you, where these tractors and farm machinery is, and those cars just coming down. Now that track, it does say on the map that that's a footpath. Yeah, see, people have come up here and scratched names in trees, which is, well, it's a bizarre place to come. But I don't know if you want shots of the city at night. Yeah, no, you can't really. But behind there, from the road, where you get to the road, I'm not going to go that far. You get to the road, and then where the tractor is, there's a track that comes down, and there's a footpath, and it goes down past some buildings, and then stops. That's it. End. So I really have no idea of the point of it at all. So here I am. I'm at Freezing Hill, okay, and I'll keep the camera angled like this because that will give us a brighter image. And you can even see hills in the far distance there. I can't think where they are actually. So we got this view, so we could send warnings to the you know, the hill in front of us, and up. Well, who knows, if that was a wood, then they would probably have used that. And then all through here, views, 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 all the way round. And even today, the view tells me there's rain coming. Well, when I said today we were going freezing and hanging, it brought to mind the tale of Merlin and Vortigern's tower prophecy, where, you know, he said that he was going to die by hanging, falling and drowning. Well, I can't remember the story, that's the subject of another video I think. But Vortigern's tower with the red and white dragons underneath, I don't know how linked that is to Glastonbury Tor, the tower on it, and the red and white spring that runs by it. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. You decide. Or maybe we'll find out together somehow. Because in my life, I've noticed that things have a way of revealing themselves. Oh, that's quite difficult. Okay, so I would have gone that way, but I scrambled through I was going to say barbed wire, but it might just as well be. Probably get less damage from barbed wire. Whoa. So this little area, actually reminds me of Dartmoor for some reason. Don't know why. Your Majesties. Thanks for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed this. We haven't gone hanging yet, but while I'm talking, hanging hill, a hanging hill. It's not where they used to come and hang people. A hanging hill means it's a hill with trees on, with woods on, with a copse on. It's a tree-covered hill. So if you see something that says hanging hill, it doesn't necessarily mean executions. Now for anyone interested, that's Hanging Hill there on the top, and I was going to go via that farmhouse and up that way, but I think I'm going to change my mind after what I've seen at where I've parked. If you want to support me and get some little benefits that I'm working on, then including mugs, and well, there'll be some books available hopefully in the next year, as well as some calendars, and maybe even prints. So you know, that's something that can happen, and I'm working on, but it takes so much time. There may be more, I can't remember. Everything's freezing, even my brain, so maybe we'll go hanging in a minute. But one thing I do know, I'm going to have to go through the brambled gate again. And yeah, my hands are blue and pink, so they just are, okay? They just are. The things I do. Partly it's because I'm holding a gimbal and the other one's sort of hanging free, whereas if I was at work, I'd have gloves on. So there you go. Insights into the life of a country worker. I said country worker. We've got Hanging Hill behind me, and we came from behind those trees. They were the trees we were looking at, possibly to the right of the freezing hill. The first trees we looked at, or last trees, depending on which way I panned it. So what we're going to do is go off to Hanging Hill. So what we're going to have to do is walk the gravel path next to the track, and imagine how nice it would be to be allowed to go through the wood. But at the moment that's not an option. This is the path, and I don't know who owns the wood. Ooh, wait. Let's have a look. Now obviously this is this a sneak-in path? Looks like it. Signs of ancient. Yeah. Definitely signs of ancient. Now I can see a building behind. I'm not quite sure what it is. But definitely ancient. Look at that one. I'm showing you that because there's the fairy entrances below, and obviously there's a path through here. I don't know why the path stops there. It's interesting. But this is nicer than the road. I hope you'll agree. Look at that green. So bright and vibrant, isn't it? Wow. Shows you how moist the air is here and how clear. Ish. Could just be a reaction to how bad it is. There you go. Look at these. We've got two different types of fungus here. There's those ones, and there are those ones there. So I can't get closer. That's a strain. Wow. Okay, figuring out a way through is difficult. I'm hoping it will come out at some point, but then again, doesn't matter if it doesn't, does it? I'll just retrace my steps, and then we won't make it to Hanging Hill. Yeah, definitely a feel of ancient in here. I never thought I'd end up being here. I nearly got some work looking after this one. But that didn't happen. Oh, everyone will know this. Turkey tail. Really good for lots of things. But I don't know enough about it. I'm not a mushroomy person like other people. I know a bit, but I have, you know, there's only so much time to do things, isn't there? And my bit seems to be protecting the woods and the trees. I wasn't expecting this, but there are some, well, look at this behind you. And there's a nice bit of what do you call it? Ivy going through that one. That's an ash. I said a nice bit, it doesn't matter now. You can see the amount of trees that are coming down. That's the ash dieback, pulled down by the weight of the ivy. So, you know, in many ways it's quite useful having the ivy. I mean, there are a lot. And I think some of these came down recently in our recent storms. Yeah, definitely. They're looking quite fresh. But in my younger days, I was very interested in the use of herbs. Back before it became, you know, re-popular, as it were. I was always interested in the oldness. There's another one that's got to be useful, recent. But yeah, I was very interested, and still am, you know. I've made my own mixes and concoctions and discovered a whole lot of things that work. I seem to have reached, I thought this was going to meet up with where the gate enters the wood in another bit, but I don't know. Well, the path comes through here. If I have to turn around, I have to turn around, don't I? Oh yeah, something's been snuffling about. Yeah, okay. Right, well I might have to turn around due to time constraints. As I haven't planned coming into here. I thought that was going to be one of those things that was going to be impossible. But yeah, I had a flying mixture through a misidentification of a plant, though. But hey, it worked out all right in the end. Oh, we found the path. Look at that. Yes, I mistook greater woundwort for purple loosestrife. Hey, come on. It didn't kill me. I learnt something. And maybe the other herbs in the mixture served as an antidote. Who knows? I didn't ingest it as, you know, via my mouth, though. I did smoke it. But I used to drink all sorts of herbal teas. I made my own mixture, which I could possibly do again if people are interested. It's very delicious. Now I did find, this is lovely, isn't it? This is ancient wood. Again, it's not far from another ancient wood that I look after, but definitely ancient wood. Yeah, no idea what all that white fungus is, but I can tell you this much: Alfred's been here burning his cakes, or rather burning our cakes. But if you need a fire lighter, they will do that for sure. Now can I see Hanging Hill, Freezing Hill from here? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. See the trees through there? That group of beech trees. Let's zoom in, see if you can make them out better that way. There we go. That's where we've been. So this could be a long video, so I don't know, I'm tempted to. I mean, where else can you see a video about history, fables of a romantic age, of a king, King Arthur? See King Alfred's cakes. By the way, King Alfred actually created the navy. Yep, but arguably the Vikings were the ones who triggered that. This is nice, isn't it? I had no idea. Wow, we're gonna have to go. Well, can we go over or shall we go round? Let's go round. Or are people going this way? Yeah, they are. Let's take the path where people have been, because often that's easier. You know, in difficult situations like this. Oh, it seems that we've come to the gate, which is somewhere. I don't know how we get to it. Now, going back to what I said about history, we're not just ancient history here, we're at the scene of the Battle of Lansdowne. Now if you look here, you can see there's the golf course, so we were not far from there, at the bottom of there. And you can see that view all the way along the escarpment, and you can see or understand why these bits of hills would have been a strategic point. Now I'm seeing on both sides of the road there are monuments to the Battle of Lansdowne, which was part of the Civil War. You know, where us British fought for the right to wear lace high boots and floppy hats. Much like what's happening today, arguably. Which it does make me laugh. Oh, sorry, you've disappeared there. But yeah, so you get a view while you look at me. See, that's the view, isn't it? So even though the monument here is to the Civil War of what, 1643, 42, because they were here, had the battle, and from where I showed the shot of you know, saying freezing hills behind these hills, from where I filmed that, we were looking over the battlefield. So I'm guessing, who knows what this was to do with. Maybe this is where they were both camped and partied together before going and killing each other in the morning. There's a permissive bridleway here, but we could have walked this, but I know where it is. I know where it is. It's near where I was working the day before yesterday. But now let's see if, now you see, let's again, I'll have to zoom you in and hope it's going to work, because what we're looking at here is another ancient settlement area. You see where the brownish field is, beige field, is that beige? Sandy coloured field is. Well, on there are 4 barrows, and behind it is a long barrow. Well, they don't exist anymore, as is documented on the video I did of that. There you go, make what you want of that. It's obviously being ploughed out because there was no valuables, all the valuables were taken. I mean, if there were valuables when the Civil War happened, I think they were taken, weren't they? They're either taken or wrecked, I would guess. So, here we are. Now this is Hanging Hill. Now obviously if there's a battleground here, you would have assumed, maybe, that that's what was going on. But there is a path round here, so I'm going to take that. I think it might be a bridleway, so if it disappears down the hill, we'll do an about turn. But it's quite nice to have a good old look at the area. You know, there are people that will do a 10-minute video of this, you know, or under 20 minutes, because most people have got a really bad attention span. But right, so earlier we were up on the top of the hill there, or not quite the top, on that line of trees that looks like a dot in the middle of the top of the screen. And that's where we were before. Now this looks like it might be going too far down, but I did think it was going to go round, but I'm not sure. Now I'm experimenting with jays, 2 jays. Did you see them? I'm experimenting with a longer form. I mean, I know 40 to 45 minutes is probably one of the ideal times. You know, that's enough for people to watch before they need a break, or even do, you know, multiples of 20. Like if you're in front of a screen, you're supposed to take a break after 20 minutes. Okay, so we're not going to carry on down there, but my videos are, now if I'd done my original plan, we'd have gone down there and down to the bottom. In fact, we'd have done the route of some of the troops in the Civil War. The way I do these long form ones, like I was saying, someone could do this in 10 minutes and would have done loads of research and probably would have spent longer doing it. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, you know, you have to remember, arguably I've spent longer because I've spent years working this out through knowing the area and what I feel. I mean, on the side we were looking at of Hanging Hill, it's like Freezing Hill. See, I'll get them muddled up. Where we were at the first half of this video, that the side of that hill, the bit we walked up and over a bit, that's got 4 or 5 springs that come out, and indeed where we started was a spring, or rather not a spring, but just where the waters had collected and were running. And I'm quite looking forward to this because can you see the view over there? I know I choose my days, don't I? It may be that I will do this in the summer one day. I'm guessing that's something to do with building material. Don't know. I'm just guessing. Some kind of quarry. Yeah, possibly, because underneath all here we'd have the Bath stone. So it is possible that that was mined out and then they got everything they could possibly use, because the Bath stone comes from quite a vast area around. And well, I'll have a look at the information board, I might be able to tell me something. But here we are, these trees in front of us now, they are the trees of Hanging Hill. And from this battleground, who was it? The Roundheads, wasn't it? They then went over to Ranway Hill in Devizes, because it's another, from the other side of the hill, you can see that from the other side. And that's quite an obvious shaped hill to aim for. It's unmistakable. And even without the trees on, which it did have all trees on anyway, it would still have been unmistakable. Well, it's not as simple as you would think that they fought over this flatlands. In fact, they pushed down the slopes to the bottom of Freezing Hill there. So that's, you know, this whole area from the top, from the horizon down to here and over there on the other side, this was all part of it. I mean, that's a nightmare. I mean, war is just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And now we don't win the right to wear lace floppy hats and high boots. I know I'm making light of a nightmare situation, but you know, war is futile. Absolutely, totally futile. And costs a lot of money. Okay, well, here's the tree we saw at the start, before we entered here, the Scots pine, a three-trunked Scots pine indeed. Now I'm not going to go any further down. Guess I've climbed. I'm done for climbing hills today. Yeah, it's not like I do this once a week. I may go out filming once a week or so, but I'm working like this. Okay, so here we are. This is haunted. Even if you take into account, we've got the ancient settlements, we've got the deaths in this battle, not to mention other things that go on. There's an ancient Celtic spring there, quite close, that the Romans also used, but this whole area full of death. Full of death. And I could guess that maybe at certain times of the year this is an extremely spooky place to be. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming with me. Hope you enjoyed that. It was a good old explore, good old adventurizing. And well, I don't, like I said, I don't plan these. I just go where I get called to go. I have a vague plan and a route, but there we go. Okay, well, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment, check out the links below. Have a look at my website, see if there's anything that you need to commission me for. If you want to support the channel, there's other ways to do it, which are by Patreon, where I'm doing more on there now, that stuff that doesn't go onto YouTube. As well as I shall be doing videos, doing mugs and prints and maybe a book. It's all being worked on. So if you want to support me that way on Patreon, that's great, thank you very much. If you want to donate via PayPal, send me a message somehow and tell me how much you want to donate, and I'll send you a bill so that it can work that way, because that's the only way it seems to work. Or there's buy us a coffee, which is easier for some people to do. So join me next time. Ta-ra.